Hello everyone, Denise here. Today we are going to learn the bean stitch, and I'm just going to work up a dishcloth to teach this stitch. So I'm going to be using Peaches and Cream stripy yarn. This calls for an H hook, and this is the hook that I will use, is H 5.0 mm. This colorway is called Linen. So in case you want to check that out, I bought it at Walmart. And then we'll need some scissors, something to weave in the ends, and a tape measure if you want to know how big your dishcloth is going to be. So let's get started. Okay, so starting with our H hook and our stripy Peaches and Cream, I'm going to make a slip knot. And the bean stitch, we need even multiples. So any number that is even, you can use. I'm going to chain 22. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Okay, let's see how big that is. Tried to do it a little bit loose, so got my tape measure here. We're roughly going to be about 8 inches, so that's great. That's exactly what I was looking for. We will skip this first chain here, right here. We're going to skip that and not do anything. And right here, we are going to start our bean stitch. So to do the bean stitch, we insert our hook, yarn over, pull through. Want to keep it a little bit loose. Otherwise, it's harder to pull through once you get all of the loops on your hook. We're going to yarn over again and go in again, pull up a loop. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We need 6 total, so we're going to yarn over again, go back in, pull up another loop. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so we're going to yarn over and go through all of those. Then we're going to chain 1. That's 1 bean stitch. So we're going to skip a foundation chain and do another bean stitch in this one. Remember not to yarn over when you start. You just go into the space, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, go in, pull up. More yarn here. Yarn over, go in, pull up. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yarn over, pull through all of them. Chain 1. 2 bean stitches. Skip 1. Go into the next space or stitch. Go into the stitch. Yarn over, pull up. Yarn over. Pull through loop. Yarn over. Pull through loop. What do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yarn over, pull through all. Chain 1. We're going to continue doing that for the rest of this row. Skip 1. Go into the next stitch. Yarn over, pull up. Yarn over, go in, pull the loop up. Yarn over, go in, pull the loop up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So once you get into a rhythm, chain 1, you will know that you have to go into that stitch or space 3 times. That's how I always remember. So once I start getting into a rhythm, I will just count 1, 2, 3 as I'm doing the bean stitch. So we'll skip a stitch, and I'll show you how I do it once I get the hang of it. 1, 2, 3. Now I already know there's 6 on there, so I just pull through and chain 1. we get to the end of our row, we are going to put a single crochet in that last stitch. So we are going to go on to row 2, and we chain 1, and we are going to turn our work, and we are going to put a single crochet in that first space. Then, by looking at your work, you can see holes here in the previous row. So we have a hole here, we have a hole here, here, here. That's where our bean stitches are going to go in this row. So we are going to start right off in this space right here. 1, 2, 3, pull through, chain 1. Repeat all the way down the row. Going in the stitch, pulling up a loop, yarning over, going in the stitch, pulling up a loop, yarn over, going in the stitch, pulling up a loop, yarning over, pulling through all, chaining 1. When we get to the end, we are going to put a single crochet in that last space. Then we are going to repeat that until we have the desired height of our washcloth. I am going to do a complete square. So once I get it almost worked up to the point where I think it's a square, I'll show you what I do to ensure that it actually ends up being a square. So I'll meet up with you once I get some rows completed. Okay, so when I'm working along, I'm like, am I close to a square? This is how I decide if it is a square. So I take the corner and I fold it over, because if it is a true square, it should meet this corner without issue and line up, but it's not. So if you see, if I line it up towards the bottom here, I have about a row left, it looks like, and then I will have a square. So I will go ahead and do another row and be right back. So I have done another row. Let's check. And now it's a perfect square. Now I will do the edging. So I'm going to put single crochets around the edge. I'm just going to put as many in that works well on this side, and then repeat that for the other side so that it is the same on all sides. So we have a chain 1 here, and then I'm going to put one right here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that is 16 single crochets along that edge. For each corner space, I'm going to put 3 single crochets. So I have 1 in this corner, 2, 3, and then just continue on. Okay, so that is 16 single crochets on this side as well. I have 1 in the corner here. I'm going to do 2 more and then continue working up this side. Okay, so I have 16 single crochets on this side, and now I'm going to round the corner and finish up the last side. Now at the corner here, I'm going to put 2 more stitches because I only put 1 at the beginning. And then I will slip stitch to that first one and cut my end and weave it in. And there you have the bean stitch washcloth. It took about probably less than half of this. So you definitely could get 2 washcloths out of one of these balls of the stripy peaches and cream. And you could go around this again if you'd like. You could do whatever border you want on it. It does not matter. You could easily make this into a scarf or a cowl or a hat even if you want to do it in the round. If you do it in the round, you would have to turn your work and go back the other way to get the zigzag. Otherwise, your bean stitches will end up being all the same direction if you go in the round. But yeah, that's a fun stitch. I think it would make a nice warm scarf because of the bulk of the bean stitch. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Until next time, guys, thank you for watching. Bye.